Well, making history isn't new to writer-comedian Robin Thede. She made history while at The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, and she became the first black female head writer for the late night TV show. Then she was one of the few black women to host a late night show, The Rundown, with Robin Thede. I'm saying her last name right,
Yeah,
right?
Robin Thede, yeah.
Okay.
And now she's created another landmark series. It's called A Black Lady Sketch Show. And it's exactly what it sounds like. The new HBO comedy series was cast, written, and directed by all black women.
Or ladies.
Or ladies, right? And earlier, I got a chance to sit down with Robin to talk all about it. Take a look.
We made it to the top. Hey, to the top. We made it to the top. Hey, to the top.
Let's take a step back and think about sketch comedy in America. When I was growing up, In Living Color was it.
Yeah.
And what I loved about In Living Color is it wasn't comedy for baby boomers. And by baby boomers,
yeah.
I mean like white Americans who
Yeah.
find a particular brand of comedy funny and they find some other things not funny.
Yeah.
It was really geared towards its audience.
Yeah. Black people. Why are we beating around the bush?
Exactly.
Black people.
Exactly.
But the great thing about In Living Color is that everybody watched it.
Right.
It became such a cultural phenomenon. I don't know if you remember this, but in the height of In Living Color, they did a live episode during the Super Bowl halftime.
I do remember that.
And
yes.
it was like, that's how big
It was
In Living
huge.
Color was.
It was huge. Are you willing, able to take the kind of risks that have been taken in the past on this show?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, well, the great thing is we're on HBO.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So we can do anything.
Carte blanche.
Oh my God. And they've been so fantastic. They are literally like, do whatever you want, make it raunchier, you know. And I was thinking, God, is this show raunchy? And then someone called it raunchy the other day, and I was like, yes.
All right, so let me ask you, were you surprised when The Rundown got canceled?
Yeah, I think you're always a little bit surprised. To BET's credit, they were very open with me, and they set us a mark that we needed to hit ratings-wise early on, and we never totally got there. So, you know, as much as people were watching the show, BET has to sell ads. They would have kept me if they could, but look how it worked out.
Right. I mean, but like you said, right, black people got to make money too.
Yeah,
like,
they got to make money, and I'm not mad at that, because
Right.
I'm a businesswoman
right,
too.
you
So.
know how it works. Going back in the history of comedy, sketch comedy, there have been funny black women going back to when television and film was being recorded, but in sketch comedy, for example, if we look at SNL, there have been less than 10. And then you've had, in recent years, some cast members saying, well, you know, it's because black women aren't ready, or they're just
Right.
not as funny.
Right.
When you hear something like that,
Yeah.
what do you think, and when you look at the history of the number of women who've been represented on
Yeah.
those comedy shows, what goes through your mind?
I think that, to be fair, I think some of those people's quotes were taken out of context. But the good thing about them is that they raised a big flag in the comedy community. I think some strides have been made, but I think the great thing about doing a black lady sketch show with black women writers, with a black woman director, with me creating it, with all the stars being black women, like
Yeah.
there's so many funny comedians on this show, not only the core cast of Gabrielle Dennis, Quinta Brunson, Ashley Nicole Black, and myself, but also these dozens and dozens of guest stars that we got to come on the show who wanted to come and play. Everyone from David Allen Greer to Angela Bassett, Laverne
God.
Cox, Patti LaBelle. I mean, the list
Patti!
is, oh my God, wait till you see her on the show. She's so funny. It's this authenticity that you're not gonna get anywhere else. And even on shows like In Living Color, there were fantastic black women on that show, but they were never really at the forefront. But even as a kid, I never thought about that. I just was enamored with everyone, but I never realized that black women weren't at the forefront. So I think it takes people over the years to bring it up, right? And to say, hey, we deserve a lot more of that front runner kind of shine.
Give me a sense of the writer's room when you guys are all sitting in there,
Yes.
when you're all thinking up ideas. What's that like? Because it's going to be very different
Yes.
than the room.
Than any show I've
Right,
ever written on.
exactly.
Sorry to interrupt. It's Trinity's birthday. Can you sign her card?
I'm sitting right here.
Oh, well, you can sign it too. Just drop it by my desk when you're done, okay? Make sure not to tell Trinity.
On this show, walking into a room, my head writer, Lauren Ashley Smith, and I, when we walked into the writer's room the first day, we saw, you know, the faces of only black women staring back at us, and different types, plus size, older, younger, LGBTQ, all that, staring back at us. And we were all like, holy crap, like, this is crazy. Some people started crying. And there was just this real sisterhood that developed from day one. The cast was the same way.
Do you see yourself as a pioneer and a groundbreaker? Because you kind of are. You were the first
Yeah, I am.
black female
Yeah.
head writer of
Yep.
a late night show. Then you had your own show on BT. Now
Yeah.
this. I mean,
Yeah.
you keep sort of hitting them out of the park.
Yeah, what you need to know is I only do things that people haven't done before because I'm selfish. No, I don't know. No, it is pioneering. I mean, I don't walk around with like a pioneer T-shirt, but
Should get one.
I should. No, I think it's cool. I think I just try to see holes where they exist in the industry, especially concerning women and people of color, and particularly concerning black women, especially in comedy. So I just try to find those holes and plug them where I can with content,
Yeah.
hoping that will, lead the way for more of us to be able to do this.
There's one that's like that Motown skit.
Crazy.
First of all, what's funny is that it's one of those sketches that builds up, because when you
Yes.
first see it, you're like, "What?
Oh, okay,
this
what
is
is
cool.
this?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into the, I love Motown, like,
Yeah.
and you guys are all made up to look like Motown, like singers,
Yep.
and then it gets, man, it gets crazy.
But that's what we try to do on this show, is we try to take these crazy left turns so you don't know what's coming. Like, anyone who watches this show, just like in Living Color, is going to find it funny. But there are moments that are gifts, to black women. Gifts and gifts with a T.
Yeah. Gift ready.
Yeah.
And gifts.
Correct. that I think black women will really appreciate.
What would you say to a little girl like you,
Yeah.
growing up in Davenport, Iowa, who wants
Get
to be
out! What are you doing there? Is that a place for comedy? Go somewhere! Sorry.
Get to LA,
Get
come to
LA.
New York.
Yeah. I would say that you have to learn how to write as well as perform, but you also can never rest on the fact that you're cute or that you're the best at one thing. Like, you just have to be good at everything. You asked me to talk to little black girls, right? So you have to be good at everything.
Right.
This is who I'm talking to, right? If you have people writing for you who don't look like you, you're never gonna be authentic. I grew up in a trailer park. Like, that was not glamorous by any stretch of the imagination. But a lot of people don't even believe me when I say that, because I've built a career and a life out of that. But without those struggles, I would not be who I am. So embrace who you are, learn how to write your stories, learn how to perform your stories, and carve your own path. Don't wait for anybody.
Speaking truth, Robin Thede. You can watch a Black Lady sketch show this Friday, August 2nd at 11 p.m. Eastern on HBO.